Today, we're going to be building out agent operating systems inside the Agent OS. So we're going to get straight into this, get cracking. We got Claude with Fable 5 ready to go. We don't use Opus 5 around here. We're just going to get straight into this. So if you're not familiar with what the agent operating system is, basically it's a way to like have all your agents working together. If you want to get mine, you get it inside the AI Profit Boardroom. Link in the comments description, or just go to the AIProfitBoardroom.com. And we're going to start building out some new features directly into this. So the first one that we need to do is we're actually going to start using OmniRoot with open code. And if you got any questions as we go along, just like feel free to ask. Happy to help. This is what the Agent OS looks like. Can you build OmniRoot into open code and make sure it works inside the Agent OS, and then also build some cool stuff out and make sure that it actually works inside the Agent OS as well? Don't build anything boring. Make sure it's like super interesting and visual. Add it to the workspace inside the Agent OS. OmniRoot Agent OS. So if you want the Agent OS system that I've created, I mean, we've spent about probably 4 hours a day coding it out. So if you want to get my system, you get it inside the AI Profit Boardroom. You could create your own if you want to create it for free, but if you just want to skip the time and the tokens it takes and everything else, feel free to just get my system inside the AI Profit Boardroom. Back in a sec. Just gonna get my headphones. All right, we're back. And to get the steps in as well. Classic. And we'll put on some nice music as well. Let's see what questions you got here. I just built a content machine with Paperclip combined with Claude, but it took way too many tokens to really let it run. You could always ask Claude like to reduce the amount of tokens it uses when it uses the content machine, or you could use, for example, like RTK, Caveman, token minimization tools like that. We've got a full playbook inside the AI Profit Boardroom if you want to get access to that. Newman says, you run AI agent in your local server or on VPS? For me personally, I run it locally, but we do have members inside the AI Profit Boardroom who have set it up on a VPS, and we have like full setup guides on that as well. Sorry, I think the microphone might be bad there. Please, it's a lot nicer now. Keep the questions coming. How does the agent function? What's the specific question there? Because there's a lot of functions inside the Agent OS. Build in 9root into the agent operating system, just like you've got OmniRoot inside the OmniRoot section, and change that section to free AI Coda, and then allow me to have like a drop down where I can switch between 9router and OmniRoot as a free coder, and also make sure that you create a guide on it, add some cool stuff into the workspace, and additionally, when you're building it out, just make sure it's smooth and effortless. Now, 9root should not be built into OpenCode, just build it into the free AI Coda section, and that should replace the OmniRoot. Skiller says, where can I find the token minimization tool in the AI Profit Boardroom? So if you go over to the AI Profit Boardroom here, go to Classroom, New Daily Updates, then you're going to select the token minimization section here. And we've got a full guide on it. We have all of the steps on how to reduce token minimization, and full guide and step-by-step tutorial right there. So you can grab it all there. How much is the OS? So you can just get it. We actually give it away to members of the AI Profit Boardroom. So if you want to get it, you can see it right here. And then if you want to get the Agent OS, just go to the Classroom, then go to New Daily Updates, and the Agent OS is right there. And we update it regularly with a zip file, video tutorial, full step-by-step guide as well on how to use it. So it's all there. By the way, team, if you're not using Opus 5, if you're not using Fable 5 and you're still using Opus 5, I wouldn't waste your time. Like, Opus 5 has just been so slow and unusable recently that It's just not worth it. I would definitely switch to Fable 5. That's what I'm switching everything to. Skiller says, thanks so much. Happy to help, sir. Thank you so much for joining today. Inside Hermes, can you make sure voice activation works inside the Agent OS and also create a guide about this? Test it actually works with voice activation first. So this is all about the wake word. There should be like a wake word section or like a button you can press, for example, inside the chat section of Hermes Agent OS, and it should look beautiful and nice and a beautiful UI and everything else. Can you make sure that Claude works with OmniRoot and KnimeRoot inside the Agent OS? Create a guide on it too. Build some cool stuff with it. Allow me to switch as well between them. Can you create a new guide on Sakana Fugu 1.1? I think you've already got the API key. If not, tell me. But I think I did give it to you like a week or so ago. And also test it on Goldie Bench. Create a guide about it too. Make sure it's working inside the Agent OS, and also add the outputs directly to the Agent OS workspace for Sakana Fugu as well. Geo Frogger says, hey Julian, did you see the official Hermes and Buzz integration? Haven't given it a try yet personally. Yeah, I've actually got a tutorial on it already today. So if you go to the channel, on this video we actually show you 3 ways to connect Hermes and Buzz together, so you can have your agents working together right there. Kurt says, are you looking for a virtual assistant right now? Right now, actually not, but I really appreciate you offering. And honestly, like, since AI has come out this year, we haven't really hired at all, apart from the sales team. So it's one of those where, like, I feel like we can just automate everything instead of using virtual assistants, and everything is easier and smoother and less stressful that way, as it's a lot of work managing people. Chris says, I tried a similar prompt like you just did and got a timeout on Agent OS since it took longer than 6 minutes. Where is this setting in the Agent OS? What's that for specifically? Which part are you talking about there, Chris? I can take a look for you. Happy to help, but just let me know which part you want to improve. Can you create the guide in the meantime in the background so that everything is ready to plug in when you get the creations done? What do you think you can't automate right now? There's nothing really. I mean, like, you can automate pretty much everything. It's just about really, there's no issues in terms of what I can't automate. So I haven't come across anything that I literally can't automate at this point, like even to the point of replacing myself. The only thing that I can't automate is decision making, but I think when it comes to decision making, you are the one, right? Like, as the CEO running the business, you are the person who's making the decisions, and that's what you're there for. And if there ever comes a day where you're not the best person to make the decisions, then it's probably time to bring in a CEO, or time to bring someone on who's more skilled than you. But that wouldn't be a virtual assistant. That would be like a super high level role. Still says, where can I find information on when you normally go live? So if you go to make sure you're in the AI Profit Boardroom, and then you can see like the calendar here if you want to jump on like live sessions. And it will give you the times inside your time zone. So if you want like live sessions, you can jump on the calendar. And then also, when it comes to creating an AI avatar, so if you go to the classroom inside the AI Profit Boardroom, not the free group, but the AI Profit Boardroom, then go to the playbook section here, and we've got AI avatar training. So we have a full video tutorial, step-by-step operating procedure, and we have loads of great training on that. So if you want to get it, it's all inside there. So Chris says, using Hermes inside the Agent OS with Codex as the LLM. I received a message. Interesting. So you want to change the time that it's allowed, right? Let me double check here. I think you can change the timeout on Hermes. There you go. So they have provided timeouts on the Hermes website, and then you can change it over here. So you can set, and what I would actually do, if you want to make this even easier, is if you want to make this even easier for yourself, right, for the timeout section, then you want to make sure that this is the way that I would approach it, because it's quite technical to set up. So I would actually give this information to Claude and say, hey, change the timeout. Now you can see that you can edit the code directly for the timeout time allowed. But for me personally, I wouldn't edit myself just because like it's so much work, it's so technical. I would do this instead, if that makes sense. So give this information to Claude on the provided timeouts. You can find it inside the configuration. Just type in change timeout on Hermes, and then you can get it right there. If you still can't find it, like direct message me inside the AI Profit Boardroom, and I'll send you the link to that article. Kurt, you think I can join your sales team? No. I think because the thing is it's so much work that we only want people who are really, really talented at sales. That's the only people that we bring into the team in sales are like people who are experts and really love what they do and love working on it. Still, Kyle says, signing up for the group now. Appreciate the information. Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate you joining. Excited to see it. I just saw you signed up, Kyle, actually. Thank you so much. If you need anything, feel free to direct message me. I also do daily Q&As inside the community as well. But yeah, really appreciate you joining. Just to be clear as well, like normally for me personally, so you got the calendar inside the Profit Boardroom. Also, if you want to join me personally on daily lives, usually, I mean, today's a bit different, but usually around, I would say, early Thai time, like about 8 a.m. Thailand, something like that. But then we also have the coaching calls that are live too. Gaden says, what is your main harness? And if I'm currently using Hermes, should I switch to Buzz? Well, I've actually got a tutorial on how to use Hermes with Buzz. 1 second. So that way you can use the best of both worlds. And you can have them working together, if that makes sense. I'm just going to add a new tutorial inside the AI Profit Boardroom here for it, because I know I'm going to get this question about 10 times this week. So let's plug that in. Hermes plus Buzz. We've also got a step-by-step guide on Buzz as well. I would say this is the tool of the week. Like, this is one that everyone's loving right now, which is cool. I do think it's good from what I've tested so far. So we've got a full step-by-step guide on how to use them together. What is the main goal of the Agent OS? What are the main use cases? So let me show you this. So basically before, if you look at like the way AI tools are set up now, most people are using Codex and then Kimi and then Claude and then ChatGPT, and they've got like 14 different AI tabs and they're just scrolling between them, right? Especially if you got Buzz this week, it's like, that's just another one to scroll through. With the Agent OS, you have one dashboard. Every AI agent, you can use free models inside there. We've got a full step-by-step tutorial walking you through it. And the thing is, like before, you were juggling like loads of tabs, copying and pasting different models. None of them were synced up. With the Agent OS system, you've got them all plugged into one place. You've got the memory system that integrates between all of them and is automatically updated. You have, for example, all your favorite tools plugged in together. You can create amazing custom workflows like the Hermes Oracle. It's just an amazing system where you can have everything synced, working together, and automated inside one place, right? And you won't get that anywhere else. You can only achieve that with an Agent OS, because none of those tools are going to work together to build this, right? Which is why you have to build it yourself, which is why I created this. And then I give you the whole system inside the AI Profitboarding. Yeah, so if you want the details on Hermes and Buzz, it's right there, my friend. There you go. All right, let's see where we're up to with the integrations and the new setup. For me, ChatGPT Image 2.0 is my favorite. And then also, I created a guide on Microsoft Mage Flow yesterday, which is pretty good. That's local and free. Appreciate it, Kurt. Thanks so much for joining, sir. We got a message in, I think, Korean. If you want to switch that to English, mate, I can help you. Happy to help, Jets. Thank you for posting. Back in 2 secs. We are building Nexus with controlled AI human approval. Would Hermes add real value? I think if you're happy with the systems you've got, you don't need to add another agent in there, right? So, for example, Hermes itself, it can be buggy, it can be messy, it can break a lot. If you're happy with your codex setup, you don't need to use something like Hermes. You know, it could just break things and make things harder for you. Hey, Hermes. I tested it. It doesn't work. Also, I don't like the flashing in it. Like the UI should be much nicer for that. Testing. You working? With all the AI tools that you have built, how many team members do you currently have? Well, I mean, for example, in the AI Profit Boardroom, it's literally just me, right? Um, yeah, that's the whole team. And then we do have a few freelancers and stuff like that, but we don't have any like, full-time people required. So it's pretty chill. Hey, Hermes. Scott says, I finally found your OS. Sensational work, mate. Thank you so much, Scott. I appreciate that. Super kind. Kurt says, oh, so I see you only have one man. So in the AI Profit Boardroom, it's just me. And then in my agency, the SEO agency, we have a lot more team members, but we are actively reducing the number of virtual assistants we have, and just automating a lot more in the business. And then the people that we keep are like client facing, mostly based in Europe and America as well. Scott says, is this a real live with the real Julian? It is indeed. Whisker says he's real. I think there's a huge delay. I don't think so. I don't think there's a big delay. It's just like, we check the comments when we can and then we reply. Hey Hermes, are you working? I just tested it on Agent OS. It doesn't seem to reply yet. Hermes desktop switched on, but we shouldn't be using Hermes desktop. We should be using Agent OS, right? Back in a sec. There are minutes between when I type here and oh yeah. So it just takes a little bit of time because sometimes like I'll go and check something or go and work on something. Those of us that got here late, what are you building? So right now we're building out voice activation into Hermes Agent, OmniRoot and OpenCode, 9root, Claude Code with OmniRoot, and we'll also be doing a Q&A from the AI Profit Boardroom as well in a second. You can indeed just prompt it. We've got a tutorial on YouTube, I think, about it. Let's see what else we got here on the questions. Yeah, I would agree, Scott. Like it would take I mean, I've spent hundreds of hours building the Agent OS. So for someone to build something like that, it would take them a long, long time. Naresh, which tools should I use? We've got a full guide on the best tools that we use inside the AI Profit Boardroom. So if you go over to the classroom here, start here section, and then you'll see the tools that I use section here. So if you're wondering which tools to use, check that out. Scott, thanks so much. I appreciate that. Yeah. So if you want the zip file with the latest setup, go to the Agent OS here, scroll down, and you can grab the zip file for the Agent OS. It's in the resources section. Thanks so much, Scott. I really appreciate that. I have some of the foundations. 100%. Scott says, but I love what you've done here. Is it all your work? Yeah, it is. You got to be a member. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, like it's something that we spent hundreds of hours coding, right? So it's like we would only give that to members of the AI Profit Boardroom just to say thank you, really. But yeah, we wouldn't, give it away or anything like that. Thank you very much, Scott. I appreciate that. Thank you. Hey, Hermes. Hey, Hermes. Hey, Hermes. Can you create a page about AI SEO? If it answers like that, it's not answering inside the chat, right? Which doesn't make sense. And also, if you have to click the ear every time, doesn't that defeat the whole purpose of this? The breakout game doesn't even seem to work. The particles bit is good, but the breakout game doesn't seem to work. I don't understand why you've created a guide on Hermes when we should be using OpenCode, right? I have a cluster of hypervisions, of hypervisors with a HAK3. I usually call it to build my own stuff, so I know. Yeah, that's it. I mean, it's just a relentless amount of work, isn't it? And it never stops. But it's good. I mean, like, I like it. Like, it's learning AI is like a path of growth. You learn so much along the way, so it is a fantastic journey either way. Have you even added it to the setup? I can't see it at all. Hey, Hermes. I either didn't do anything or it's super slow. What's going on here? Hey, Hermes, what time is it? It's okay, actually. I just tested it now again. What's your favorite model to use? I mean, Fable 5 is still the best, right? Like, still the goated one. What model do you have plugged into Hermes right now? Because it seems like super slow. Hey, Hermes, what time is it? Also, why is it adding a long sentence like this? So it's sort of carrying on from my last command. It doesn't make any sense. What is the general prompt to start creating the Agent OS? It's not really one prompt. Like, it was just a lot of time and effort. But if you want to get my system for setting it up, you can get that inside the AI Profit Boardroom. Just go to the classroom and then new daily updates, and you'll grab it right there. It's inside the zip file at the bottom. But there's no like generic prompt to create it. Like, it just takes lots and lots and lots of work. So far I've been coding on it all week and it's been fine. Let's have a look at the usage. Yeah, it's been okay this week. We use it quite a bit. I don't think you should be using local to reply because like the model won't be very good and also won't be very fast. This is just a Mac Studio, so it won't be a good model if you use it locally. What you probably want to do is switch over the model to something like GPT 5.6 or GPT 5.6 Terra would be a lot faster. Why don't you use that instead? Because you can see for this basic conversation, it took like 76 seconds. That does not make any sense. I would pick, if I had to choose between those two, I'd go with Anthropic. Anthropic have consistently created the best stuff over the last sort of 6 months, 12 months. So for sure, I'd switch to, but yeah, I think Claude are gonna probably do the best. But I think both companies will be around for a long time. For some reason, 9root doesn't even work. Did you actually test that? It seems like your testing skills are not up to par, and I'd probably recommend that for guides, you actually check this stuff works in the future. So update your skill based on that. The workspace looks terrible. If I have a look, it's basically just text, but the workspace is only for visual stuff. So you need to make sure that you add really cool visual stuff inside the workspace to show off. Otherwise, it doesn't look very good when I just open up a workspace and there's a bunch of text. You should also update your skills so you don't forget that too. Hey, Hermes, you there? I just tested out and said, "Hey, Hermes, you there?" and it didn't do anything. Even, I mean, oh, that's why. I know exactly why. This is a Steel Opus 5. That's why it's not working. Where you up to? And where's the guide? Let's see what we got here. Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting one. What's going on in China? Either way, I would say it's good competition. How do you manage the different Claude instances, versions of you they understand because it's not shared between them? Basically wanted Fable to make a PA, but I'm scattered across the Claudes. So you can just fork them inside Claude conversation. That's what I do. Otherwise, you can have Obsidian memory. So we have a memory system plugged in, so all the agents know exactly what we're doing and what we've been working on recently. You can also have them working from the same folders as well. So yeah, there's many things you could do here. Usually, if I'm using local models, I will use MLX because I'm on a Mac Studio. Scott, is there a guide to disabling what I don't want on the OS? Now, you just tell the agent OS to delete stuff that you want. So I'll give you an example. Like you can see earlier, I said remove the talk section in Hermes agent OS, and then it's done. So if you want to delete anything, just ask the agent that sets it up for you. The voice operated stuff works on ChatGPT Live API. What are the main things you are using Buzz for? I mean, like if you have a look at my video, I created like 3 use cases for it on Buzz. So, for example, posting WordPress content, coming up with images, and also generating keywords. But the main thing you want to look at is what are you spending your time on? Whatever you're spending your time on, that's what you want to automate with Buzz. So it doesn't really matter like what I spend my time on. It's more about like, okay, what are the personal use cases for you? How does this appeal to you personally? That's the way that I would look at it. Because if you look at other people's use cases, then you just automate stuff you don't even need to automate. And that's kind of a waste of time. So I wouldn't do it that way around. I'd do it the other way around. Buzz is Jack Dorsey's new free app. It's kind of like Slack for AI agents. Full guide in the app, offer boarding on it. So if you go to the classroom here, we got 2 new guides on Buzz because I think a lot of people are loving it. So we've got Buzz and a full guide here with step by step. And then we've also got Hermes agent with Buzz. So we show you exactly how to control Buzz with Hermes agent. So either way, you can learn it inside there. Is Buzz open source? Yes, it's on GitHub. How many 9 routers are you using? I've got 7 agents and they still manage to end up on the same keys and rate limit. Oh, Mishak says, can you show us how to update the Agent OS? Yeah, so we actually, if you check out the Agent OS guide in the AI Profit Boardroom, you'll see exactly how to update it. So we show you exactly how to update it right there. And we also answer, yeah, so we show you exactly how to update it. You can get the examples right there. Roxanne says, I was feeling proud of my agent harness until I've seen yours got humbled by mine fast. It's time in, time out, isn't it? It's like, but you can get mine if you want, like in the AI Profit Boardroom. It's just, it's one of those where, yeah, it's a pretty cool, amazing system, really. Build out a keyboard app. Exactly. Yeah, you can just use ours and plug it into yours, and then you combine the best of both worlds. Hey, you there? Hey, what time is it, Hermes? Hey, Hermes. Oh, there we go. Hey, Hermes. What time is it? Depends what you're trying to do, right? If it's something where it doesn't require the group, then don't use a group. If you do require the group and you need multiple agents to handle it, then use the group instead. And if you're not sure, I would just stick with the default. The main user interface should be much more simple. I mean, so that's a personal preference, right? Like that's just an opinion. So if you want to make your interface more simple, ask your agent to simplify it. So the beautiful thing of the Agent OS is like you can change it however you want. So if you're like, oh, it needs to be more simple, make it more simple. You know, ask your agent to make it more simple for you. What impressed me was the user interface. you built. Really nice. UX was considered. Thank you so much. So that's interesting. So QSA says we need to improve the user interface. Scott says it's really good. How token friendly is the Agent OS? Would I be able to use it? Yeah. So if you go to the Airprop onboarding here, and then you go to the classroom, go to new daily updates, we've got a section on how to use the Agent operating system for free. So if you want to use free models with it, we've got a full system on how to do that right here. And we also have token minimization playbooks as well. So if you prefer, then you go with it. Yeah, exactly. I think everyone has their own opinion, and that's okay. Like, you can, once you get the Agent OS, you can customize it how you want to and build it how you want to based on how you feel. Back in a sec. Hey Hermes, what time is it? Hey Hermes, what time is it? Do free models slow things down? I would say if you want to make the fastest progress, then you would go with Fable 5. Okay. True, but I want something like the user interface. Yeah, well, I mean, you can ask the agent to build that for you, right? Right now, the system I'm using is OpenRouter. Nice. As a TPS can change depending on. Do you guys find there is a difference in the speed of things when using different models? 100%. So, for example, like when you're using Opus 5, wow, it is slow. It's slow and it doesn't do things correctly. So, yeah. Where do you speak to the AOS? So the Agent OS, if you want to speak to the Agent OS, you can just go to the Hermes Oracle Apollo section here, and then you can speak to the Agent OS over here. So this will speak directly to you. Does the Agent OS have OpenClaw as well? Yeah. So I've actually hidden it because I don't really use OpenClaw anymore. But if you go to this section, you can see OpenClaw is right there. So now you can see the OpenClaw is ready to go inside the Agent OS as well, if you prefer it. DJ Jerome, good to see you here, mate. Thank you for joining. Is there a keyword-based database for stuff to remember that gets asked on every request and will get filled after a task was done? So probably what you want is something like this, right? The memory system, that is the database of all of our memories. So anything that you want to add inside there, you can, and you can train your agents to use it. Exactly, Scott. I don't want to use OpenClaw either, mate. Who does? I mean, OpenClaw was fantastic when it first came out, and it probably inspired Hermes Agent a lot, but I mean, these days I would just never use it. I've not heard of anyone using it for weeks. It's interesting how the trends change so quickly, isn't it? Like, everyone was loving OpenClaw before, and now it's kind of disappeared. But you know as well, these things can bounce back as well at any time, right? So might be a case that it bounces back at some point. I think with OpenClaw, they just had so much competition between them and Hermes, and Hermes just did it so well. Like, Hermes actually works every time you use it. From what I can see, you have not fixed the issue with the workspace. As I mentioned before, the workspace needs to improve. How do I find the Jarvis voice agent section in the Agent OS? So you go to Hermes here, and then you go to Apollo over here, and this is it. Now, if you cannot find it, make sure you have the latest version of this, and then you'll see it right here. In terms of memory, I have two things, Obsidian and a custom project. There you go. Hermes also didn't open their world to, yeah, well, that didn't help as well, yeah, for sure. I needed the shared memory thing, so I was using Codex and Claude at the same time. And a lot of the time, Codex would get in the way of Claude or vice versa. Yeah, nice. Awesome, got it. DJ Jerome, thanks so much. Roxanne, all right. Mishak says, I just started using OpenClaw. I find it's the only model with agency to do stuff. I just don't find like it very good at all. OpenClaw. I'll be 100% honest with you. Don't find it very useful. I feel like Hermes Agent is a lot more powerful, but also Hermes Agent, it doesn't have so many of the issues that OpenClaw had originally. Exactly, Roxanne. I would spend more time fixing it than actually using it. That was the problem with OpenClaw that I had. And I'm probably sure. Well, I'm pretty sure you had the same issue as well, to be honest. That's exactly what happened to me. More time fixing OpenClaw than actually using it was a nightmare. First time I used Hermes, I wasn't that impressed, and then after I started using it a bit more, I was like, "Wow, this is absolutely amazing." And it seems to have got better and better as well over time. What APIs do you use with Hermes? Right now, Kimi K3 is pretty good, but it's a little bit slow. GPT 5.6 Terra is a lot faster. It still does a good job. Roxanne says, yeah, to be honest, at first I was kind of using Hermes. Yeah, it's getting better and better. I like the custom workflows you can build with Hermes as well. Like, so you can do some amazing stuff for sure. Eliza says, good morning. Good morning to you too. Thanks for joining. All those. Yeah, you can do that with the Agent OS. So we have the video agent section. So you can just type in a prompt here. It will create the research, B-roll, put it all together, edit it nicely, and then you'll create a nice video like you can see right here. With the AI avatar and the voiceover over the top and everything edited together. So you can do that with the Agent OS if you want to. Let's see what we got here. Roxanne says, to be honest, I was expecting it to be full. Honestly, like we don't get that many people on videos like this. Like, not that much. We used to get a lot more. Yeah, I don't know. I don't see that much, but also it's a weird time in the day, so I can kind of understand it. And also, I took a couple of weeks where I didn't do the live stream, so I think that makes a big difference too. How many tasks can you run concurrently with Hermes before? Well, I mean, you can run as many as you want, right? Like we've used Paperclip with full teams of agents, no problem. The question is, do you need to run multiple tasks with Hermes, or can it use sub agents for you instead? Panhead says, "Are you the digital avatar, or am I seeing things? This is the real me. Exceptional stuff, Julian. I watch him every morning in the gym. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. All right, let's kick this off. We're gonna run through OpenCode with OmniRoot. Yeah, totally understand, Scott, mate. But I appreciate you joining today. It must be quite early for you. I'm guessing about 3:48 in the morning for you now. Probably very early. Today, I want to show you how to use a completely free AI coding agent with OpenCode. So if you like the agent harness OpenCode, which is really good because it uses less tokens in general, which means that you can code out pretty nicely with AI agents, you can also plug in a free AI coding agent directly into it. So for example, over here, we have OmniRoot working with OpenCode inside our agentic operating system. And the great thing about that is it syncs to our memory system. We've got all our agents working together, and then we can switch the model that we're using inside here. So we've got this drop down. We can use some of the models built in to OpenCodes. For example, like we have Big Pickle, which is another free option. But the problem is sometimes these get rate limited. Sometimes you can't use all the free models. Sometimes the free models that you get are just not working. And so what you can do instead is switch over to OmniRoot. Now, if you're not sure what OmniRoot is, basically OmniRoot is a free AI coding agent. It works across 290 providers. 90 of them are actually free. It's got over 500 models built in. And the great thing about that is, number one, you can code for free pretty much forever. Number two, you can configure it manually if you want to. And number three, it means you can use the power of OpenCode, but you can use it in a custom way where you can change the brain with one single switch. So it's a great way to just start using it. And also, I like to use it inside the Agent OS because we have the workspace where we've got everything we've created saved and ready to go inside of one place. And the great thing about that is, like, number one, we can visualize it very quickly, which is like honestly a nightmare if you're using, for example, something like Claude. Like, where's all the stuff you created? You can't find it. Why can't you find it? Because it's not as neatly organized. How can you organize it better? You can use a system like OpenCode with OmniRoot plugged into the system, and then you can switch between the terminal and the workspace whenever you want to. And also, the great thing about this as well is, like, you're not going into Claude and then Buzz and then all your different AI agents. Like, that is super messy and time consuming. With this system, you have everything built in one place. So it's way, way easier to use. We got user says, no voice, bro. I can't hear you. Oh, my bad. Add my earphones up. Mate, you just stopped me mid flow there, man. I was in the flow. What is going on there? All right, I'm going to get back to this now. You had me worried for a second there. Nothing worse than spending like 15 minutes creating a video and there's no sound on it. Like, that is a total nightmare, I tell you that. All right, let's kick this back off. Oh, my bad. Earphones off. You are kidding me. All right, let's get back into this. So I'm going to walk you through exactly how you can use this and how you can have them working together. The benefit of this, of course, is, like, if you get rate limited on one of the free models with OpenCode, no problem. You can switch between auto-coding, best coding, and OmniRoot inside OmniRoot as well. And you've just got this nice drop down where you can switch between models. So we could also use, for example, North Mini Code, DeepSeek V4 Flash, Big Pickle, Nematron 3 Ultra, and then we've got our workspace. And the other cool thing is, when you build something out, you can just preview it with the full screen if you click on open. So you see how, for example, we can just view this in full screen whenever we want to, and we've got it ready to go, and it's all in one place. Beautiful. So let's talk about this and the free open code engine, which is a free AI coding agent. So just to recap here so that you understand how this works. Open Code is an open source coding agent that lives in your terminal, right? Similar to Claude Code, but actually it's more efficient on tokens. It uses less tokens. Why is that useful? It's useful because then if you're using a paid API, you reduce your costs. Or if you have a free API, then the great thing about that is that you reduce the amount of tokens you use. And so you don't get rate limited on free models so much. And OmniRoot is a free router, right? That runs on your machine. So you can connect these together and then build and automate whatever you want for free using a powerful coding agent. So there's you, and you say, for example, like build me a page. Open Code Writer runs and fixes everything, and then you've got OmniRoot ready to go over there as well. And so it's two open source tools. One does the coding, and one makes it all free. So Open Code is the terminal coding agent. You type what you want. It can run agent loops, and then normally you would point it at a paid provider, or you can use Big Pickle, which is the free option, but again, it can get rate limited. OmniRoot is a router that runs locally, and then it speaks the same API language as the paid APIs, but you get 90 free models, right? And also, the great thing is that if, for example, one model fails, it has automatic fallbacks, so it switches to another model. So that's why you want to add OmniRoot. And you might say, okay, why not just use Claude Code, for example? I still do, right? This isn't a replacement. This is a way of having multiple different AI agents working together. So if you look at our agent operating system, we have all of our tools ready to go. We have Hermes, we have Claude, we have anti-gravity. Doesn't matter. The whole point here is like we can have multiple agents working in parallel together. So if we look before, every coding agent has a meter on it. You might prototype an idea, test a theory, but it uses up tokens. Particularly if you let an agent loop overnight. Wow, you could get that could get quite expensive. And also, you could try like free models one at a time. Sign up here, grab a key there, hit a 404 on half of them. That would be super messy. And also having like 5 tabs to provide a dashboards, so hard to manage. With this, we can wire OmniRoot into OpenCode, and now there's a second coding agent on my machine that's completely free, right? And we can build stuff at it, and it just comes back free, right? So all the stuff that we built here, we're running for free, right? And it can build like beautiful websites as well, as you can see over here too. So this is the beauty of it. And it sits inside my agent operating system as a drop down, so that my whole team can use it without touching a terminal, right? Or I can just use it whenever I want as well. And that's fantastic. You might also say, isn't like an agent operating system, is that like technical to set up or, to build stuff like this or to use it? We actually have over 200 pages of testimonials and wins from people absolutely loving it. You can see this testimonial from Andrea. Loads of people just really loving using the agent OS as well. So it's a great place to learn, to grow, to scale, and to master AI automation on this journey that is quite difficult. So you don't need to be technical to use something like this. And so there's 3 layers to the open code engine. You've got the router, which is OmniRoot. You have open code, which is the coding agent harness. And then you have the mission control, which is the agent operating system, right? And the mission control really, this has everything plugged into one place with your workspace and all your agents working together, and you're good to go on that. Now, if you're wondering how to set it up yourself, you could set up yourself with these terminal commands. But if you want to get my setup, you get that inside the AI Profit one. You also might say, okay, is this just like another thing running on your machine? Actually, it's super lightweight, so it doesn't use up a lot of tokens. It's using APIs in the cloud. So, like, even though it's running locally, it's not going to like slow down your computer or something like that. You also might say, okay, uh, why is there an API key if it's free? The key actually authenticates your own router on your machine, so it doesn't go to a paid provider. And then once you put it inside the Agent OS, honestly, like the terminal is fine, but a dashboard is way better, right? So my Agent OS has an open code page. We can switch over to it. We can prompt in. It builds stuff out, and also we can customize it and make it feel exactly how we want to. So if we look at this system, for example, we can tell open code what to build, and it looks exactly the way that I want to. It has my recent builds, has tips inside here. It's got my workspace. We can easily switch between models. Like it looks and feels exactly how I want it to look and feel, which is the benefit of having an Agent OS as well. And you can see like some cool stuff that we built with it here. Like some people say free coding agents aren't very good, but this stuff builds pretty nice stuff. Like look at that. And also let's have a look at this crazy jellyfish thing you can see here. Yeah, actually works pretty nicely, and it can create cool stuff. So, even though it's a free coding agent, doesn't make it bad. And so the whole loop is like the model builds, it tests, if it finds a bug, it loops back, and then eventually it will ship to you once it's actually created. And you also might say, okay, is code from free models actually usable? But you've seen the demos, so you know that it's actually good. And this can replace like the stuff that you're wasting tokens on, right? So if you've got, for example, different tasks you're working on in the background, you can replace it with your API tokens instead. You might also say, okay, what's the catch here? Well, I mean, free models is not going to be like frontier level, right? So it's not going to be like Fable 5 level, but it's still going to be pretty decent. So that's basically it for using open code with OmniRoot. OmniRoot and open code together. Very, very powerful system, completely free as well. If you want this without installing and setting it up and coding it all manually yourself, you can get our agent operating system with the free open code engine, the complete agent OS, the free Hermes engine, the agent Kanban, 4 live coaching calls a week, tons of pre-built agents, token efficiency playbooks. We actually show you how to use an agent operating system for free inside here. So if you want to grab the agent OS, you can grab it over here. We give you a video tutorial, a zip file to install it. We update this daily as well. We add new tutorials all the time based on what actually works. And then if you want to know how to, if you want to learn more about OmniRoot, we've got more training on that right here, along with token minimization playbooks. So everything you need to win with AI is ready to go. Inside the community, you can ask questions, and I personally answer them every day. So you can post inside the community. There's always people online 24/7 to help you as well. And then inside the calendar, you can jump on weekly coaching calls and get help and support in real time. So you can meet cool people, share screen, ask questions, and then inside the map, you can meet people in your local area who are building out with AI agents. And also, if you can't make the coaching calls, you can watch them back here. So if you can't make the live calls, you can watch them back over there as well. So I hope to see you inside there. Link in the comments description, or just go to the aiprofitboardroom.com. Thanks for watching. See you inside there. Cheers. OmniRoot, we're actually just about to update the latest zip file for that. So let me just get that export done now, actually. Can you get the latest version updated for today? Glad I caught you. Woke up 3 a.m. to train your agents. You are dedicated, my friend. Welcome here. Yeah, if you can't watch your coaching calls, Scott, don't worry. You can watch them back inside the Agent OS. So, if you do want to watch them, you can check them inside the AR Profit Boardroom and watch them back if you want to. Scott says, woohoo. There we go. There we go. So I was in Claude a second ago, and then I switched back to the Agent OS, just to be clear. What's the idea behind showing games and not business applications? Usually I show both. Um, yeah. So, I mean, for example, if you look at the last tutorial, I showed business automations and we switched between them. Like I just like to show a bit of everything. So if you look, for example, on Goldie Bench, you'll see examples. And also, the thing that I would say when you create games with AI is that it gives you a feel for like the physics, how it should look, um, what, how well it performs at, for example, 3D stuff, and also UI. Right, like UI in games is a big thing that's immediately obvious. So, like, it's a very good test of an AI to see, okay, is it good at games or not? Because if it's good at games, then it will easily create a beautiful website and that sort of thing. So you use Claude as a controller. Yeah. So when I'm actually building out the Agent OS, I will. You can use it to update it as well. Is there a video tutorial on building games? Um, Not really, because I've never been asked that before. So if it was something I was getting asked every single day, I would create like a full tutorial on it. But we do have inside the Air Profit Boardroom a game studio as well. Please show us how those calls work. I click but never get the notifications. So if you're in the AR Profit Boardroom and you want to see how the calls go to the classroom here and then go over to the coaching calls and you can watch them back inside this section. So if you want to watch them back, just go inside the coaching call section and you can watch them there. If you're wondering how to use the calendar, it's pretty straightforward. Like you just go inside there, it will show you when the times are. And if you click on one of those, you can add it to your calendar. So it's pretty simple. I don't know. We actually have a training on like the game studio that we created inside the Agent OS and literally didn't get many views. Never created it again. If you were going to get one subscription capable of running the Agent OS, what would it be? Claude, for sure, Claude. Yeah. Yeah, Scott, if the times are not right for you, you can watch them back, like I mentioned. So you know, feel free to just watch them back. Does the Agent OS use API tokens? We have a guide on how to use the Agent OS for free. So if you don't want to use tokens or if you prefer to use local models, we have full guides on that inside the Air Profit Boardroom as well. So we've solved that problem. It's something that a lot of people want. And so we have full guides on exactly how to make sure that you use the Agent OS for free. And that way you never need to worry about that sort of stuff again. Does Claude Max plug into the Agent OS? Yes. So you can plug in your Claude directly into the Agent OS via the CLI, and then you don't need to pay for tokens. So Taryn says, between ChatGPT and everything else, do we need to have subscription for each and every tool? Absolutely not. Just subscribe to the ones you want, right? So for example, for most people, like just Claude and Hermes Agent would be fine. You don't need to use all the tools. I always recommend like focusing instead. Um, yeah, websites are looking crazy these days. Uh, yeah, I mean, so for that, like, just I mean, mostly Claude, honestly. Yeah, we mostly use Claude. But if you want to know like what we use it for and what systems we use it for, check out the playbook inside the classroom here, and you can see all the stuff that we automate with AI agents. So we have like full guides and everything, and you can see all the cool stuff that we've built with AI agents and how it works step by step. So if you want to get all my playbooks and understand what I'm building with this sort of stuff, you can get that right there. If you want a specific one, let me know. Also, you can use the forward slash learn feature for that particular topic. So if you do forward slash learn inside Hermes Agent, it can do that for you. You can take the information from the guide and then analyze it for you and learn it as a skill. And we've actually got a guide on how to use the forward slash learn feature inside the AI Profit Boarding classroom as well. Today, I'm going to show you how to use a free AI coding agent that gives you unlimited free AI coding, and you can connect this to your agent operating system. That's what we've already done over here. So we have the free AI coder inside the agent operating system, and you can see that we can switch between OmniRoot and also 9router, and we can build and code whatever we want. Now, the cool thing about this is we've got the coder on the left hand side, we have the preview on the right hand side. We can grab the code for anything that we build with this, and then also we have all of our saved builds over here. So for example, we actually built this earlier today with 9root, and this was fully created and automated using 9root inside the free AI coding agent. And so it's a super powerful system where you can code pretty much for free forever. And I'll talk you through exactly how this works. So there's basically one drop down with two free coders. If you have a look here, we've got two different open source projects plugged in, which is OmniRoot and 9router. Two different free options that we can build with. And it actually works. You know, some people say our free coding agents are actually good. Yeah, they can build some pretty cool stuff. Not going to be like Fable 5 level, but that doesn't matter. 99% of the time, you don't need Fable 5 level stuff to create awesome stuff, right? Now, if we have a look at this, basically an agent OS has our agent OS has OmniRoot inside there as a tab. So it's now a free AI coder with a drop down. You can switch between them, and then you can choose whichever one you want, which is cool. So the great thing about this is, like, if you're coding, sometimes like the model itself will dry up in tokens, or for example, one might not be working. And so what you can do is just switch between them. So if you're like, oh, do you know what, OmniRoot, that's really good, but it's getting rate limited. Okay, let's switch over to 9router, and vice versa. If 9router ever gets rate limited, which I've not seen personally, then you can switch over to OmniRoot, and you've got two different free AI models plugged into a free AI coder. The cool thing about this is, like, you've got all of your agents in one place on the left hand side, so you can switch between them. And then additionally, you can see that we can plug in a prompt inside the chat here, and we can preview it on the right hand side. So we can switch between coding and preview and then grab the code. We can save the build as well to our workspace. We can copy it, we can download it, and then we see all of our saved builds over here as well. Plus, we've got our conversation history inside this process as well. So pretty amazing stuff. Now, if you're wondering what are these tools, so for example, what is 9router? So 9router has 573 models through the logins you already have, right? So it's basically like a local setup with over 40 providers, and you can use all of your models on this as well. We actually counted over 573 after we installed it. And the great thing about this is it wires into your existing OAuth sessions. So Claude, Codex, GitHub Copilot, Cursor. You can use it with whatever you want. And it also adds automatic fallback across whatever you're using. So it can switch over to free tiers on different models if it runs out. So this is the way that we've set it up. We've got the free AI coder, which is this section here. And then we've got OmniRoot with 3 APIs, and we have 9Router, and we can switch between them whenever we want, and that goes into the workspace as well. And you can see that we built this with it, and that was pretty cool. Also, for example, you can use free models, for example, like Big Pickle. Big Pickle is another free model that you can use with open code. So you can just switch between them and then, pick whichever one you want as well. Now, you could install this all yourself. It's a little bit technical. If you just want to get my setup, it's inside the AI Profit Boardroom. Link in the comments description, or just go to the AIProfitBoardroom.com. But the thing that I would say here is like, this way you're not like just relying on one router. One thing we could actually do is plug in, for example, open codes, free APIs into this, or we have local models plugged into the system as well. So you can see the local coding engine on the left-hand side here. So it's like, okay, whatever happens, we're not going to run out of free models inside the system. And so the other cool thing as well, we can switch between models. We can choose whichever one we want. And it's really, really easy to use as well. Now, some people say, like, doesn't running an agent OS use up a lot of tokens? And the great thing about this is, number one, we've plugged in like token minimization playbooks into the system to reduce it. But number two as well is we can actually use free AI coders, or we can use local models, and then we can get the best of everything to avoid having to pay for tokens or APIs or that sort of thing. Now, some people say free coding models are too weak to build anything real, but we've built out loads of stuff, right? Like it's pretty easy to build stuff out. And most of the time you don't need like Fable 5 or something to build decent stuff. Also, other people say, well, routers mean, hand in your API keys to a middleman, but actually this is running on a local host. So it's on a local folder. You don't need to hand over anything to anyone. And then also some people say, well, I'll wait for the one router that wins, or the one model that wins. But when you've got, for example, something like 9Router, you can just switch between them. And also the great thing about this is it's a token saver. So not only does it have a free selection of models, not only does it connect to all your favorite coding tools like OpenClaw or Hermes or Claude Code or whatever you want, but also you can save 20 to 40% of your tokens with RTK and auto fallback to free models as well. Okay. And so this way you reduce the amount of tokens you use. You can track how many tokens you use across each subscription. It's got auto fallback. So if, for example, a subscription goes down, no problem, you can switch to a different model. And also it's multi-account and it's universal, right? It works with any coding agent. You can plug it into, for example, we've got open code over here inside the agent OS, and you can just switch from the drop down and be like, okay, let's use Big Pickle, or let's use DeepSeek V4 Flash, or let's use OmniRoot. So whichever model you want to plug in there, you can, and that's another way to use a powerful agent harness without having to pay for tokens. So that's basically it. Now, if you're thinking, okay, this might be a little bit technical to set up or something like that, actually, no, we've got like over 200 pages of testimonials and wins and people learning from this stuff. So you don't need to be technical to use an agent operating system. I'm not like a coding expert or anything like that. I'm just someone who found problems and then figured out how to solve them, right? Based on the community feedback from the AI Profit Boardroom. So loads of people are just absolutely loving it. And if you want to get our system, it's inside the AI Profit Boardroom. Along with that, you also get loads of cool other features. So, for example, we've got Claude over here. We have Hermes Agent with all these custom workflows. So, for example, we have like Hermes Apollo that we can talk to. We have Hermes Oracle that pulls in the latest news. We have, for example, Hermes Astros that analyzes our competitors and finds new ideas for content and that sort of thing. And then we have, for example, like a memory system and all sorts of cool stuff here. So everything you need to win with AI is inside one beautiful system, and you can use free models and local models with it. So if you want to get that, link in the comments description, or just go to the AIProfitBoardroom.com. This is my AI automation community that's designed to help you save time and grow with AI automation. So inside the community, you can post questions, get help and support whenever you need to. I personally answer them with a video tutorial every single day. Inside the classroom, you can get access to all of my best trainings on this sort of stuff. So we have a beginner to expert course over here. We also, for example, have step-by-step courses over here. We have new daily updates and advanced tutorials over here. So everything you need to win and learn and grow with AI automation is ready to go. And then on the calendar, you can jump on weekly coaching calls, ask questions, share your screen, meet other cool members. Inside the map, you can meet people locally who are building with AI agents like you. And this is all available inside the AI Profit Boardroom. Link in the comments description, or go to the AIProfitBoardroom.com. Thanks for watching. Karen says, any specific requirements to run this on my own laptop? No, with the agent operating system, like it's super lightweight. So you don't need to have like a super powerful setup to run that. Scott says, thanks, Amal. You're awesome. Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate you. And then Vega says, good night, champions. Keep up the great work. Thank you very much, sir, for joining. Appreciate that. We got some awesome people on these videos. Like, just want to say, really appreciate everyone here. There's so many cool people, so much good feedback today, and so many people sharing and learning and helping each other. Like, I love it. So, thanks everyone. Hermes agent now has voice activation. I'm going to show you exactly how to use it so that you can say the wake word and Hermes will just open on a new session. It's actually listening for your commands. It's hands-free. You can use it in the CLI, the TUI, the desktop app. I actually use it inside my agent operating system and I'll show you exactly how it works step by step. So if you go to our agent OS, then we're going to go to Hermes and you can see here that we can click this button. You don't want it switched on all the time, but if you do want it switched on, you can just click it here. And then you can see it's instantly listening to us. So you can see that it's already replying to us over here. If we refresh the page, we can say, for example, hey Hermes, what time is it? And it's now replying to us over here. All right. So I actually tested out earlier before today, and it said, yeah, it's this time, and it understands us instantly. So it can listen to us, it can reply to us, and it instantly wakes up. It's kind of like, for example, you've got your own agent on command whenever you need it. And you just say the word and boom shakalaka, it starts replying, which is fantastic. Now, if you go over to this setup, this is what I actually prefer for this. So I have something called Hermes Apollo. This is a custom voice agent. You can get this inside our agent operating system. Link in the comments description or go to the airprofitbomb.com. But you can see here that it basically replies and listens to us and it's ready to go whenever you want. So if we go to Hermes Apollo over here, we can talk and then we can speak to it and we can speak to our agent in real time. You can see the full transcript of us talking over here. And then also we have, for example, all the stuff that we've built with it. So we can preview everything we've created. We can preview the gallery. We can say, build me, and Hermes Apollo will reply to us. It's just a really powerful system where it's ready to go whenever we need it, which is really, really cool. So let's talk about this whole setup and how it works. So basically, you just say the wake word, you could be in the room, and it opens a fresh session, listens, acts hands free, and it runs entirely on your machine. Now it's off by default, but you can set it up whenever you want. So if you go back over here and we go back to the chat, hey Hermes, how are you? And you can see it's replying over there, which is pretty cool. So how does this work as a loop? Well, you just give it the wake word, it listens to you, then it acts and answers, and then it's ready for the next response, right? So it's basically like a lightweight on device detector watching out for your microphone. And when it hears, for example, this wake word, it pauses, opens up a fresh session, and records your command, as you can see right here. And then it starts answering directly. So you can see, for example, we said, "How are you?" And then it says, "Doing well." Here we go. Blah blah blah. Most useful question. What are you working on? Right. So it can actually reply to us. And if you want to switch it off, we can just switch it off like that. Right. So that way, you don't always want it listening to you, but when you do want it listening to you, you're ready to go, and it can just speak and reply whenever you need to. The same for example, Hermes Apollo. So you can see as I'm talking, it's listening to me, and then it can reply with a voice. I actually prefer Hermes Apollo. I think that it's much more interactive, and it's like an actual voice agent that's in real time, way more powerful. Now, if you're wondering, okay, how does this work step by step? You can see the engines here. So it actually talks about the different engines that works on Hermes documentation. Just to give you the 80/20 and break it down more simply, basically there's three engines. So there's Open Wake Word, right? Then there's Sherpa, which can listen to you. And there's also something called Porcupine as well. So these are three different engines that work with this system. And that's why it's just started working. And again, this was just a brand new update that came out a few hours ago from Hermes Agent. And also make sure if you want to get the latest version of this, just run Hermes Update to update your latest version of Hermes and pull in this new update with the new engine. Now, you can also change the phrase, right? So if you want to use a different phrase in terms of the wake word, you don't have to use hey Hermes. Like that's just a default, but you can change it to whatever you want. So it could be, for example, like wake up Neo, or for example, computer. You just change the settings like this. Now, you could change this manually if you wanted to, or an easier way is you just give this documentation to Claude, or you could just use our setup inside the Agent OS and it's all ready to go inside the latest version. So you can basically understand the vocabulary that you want to use, and then it's ready to go. Also, you just want to make sure that you switch it on, which is /wake on in a Hermes session if you want to set that up. But again, if you want it ready to go, you've got our Agent OS system inside the AirPod for boarding. So once you've done that, it's going to edit your config file with WakeWord. WakeWord enabled is called. And then you can also work with the Hermes desktop app as well. And you're ready to go with it. So there's three different commands here. You got /wake on, /wake status, which will actually give you the phrase that it listens to, and then /wake off if you don't want this to be switched on. So either way, you can switch it on and off depending on what you want. Some people will be like, I don't want Hermes listening to me. No problem. Then you just switch it off. Some people will be like, well, I want to change the wake word. No problem. Just change it like so. All right, like whatever the objection is, you can handle it. And then the way that I've set it up inside the Agent OS, and I think this is more useful because I don't want to manually edit the terminal every single time I want to change the wake word on and off. And also, I don't want to have to manually configure this. So what I have instead is inside our Agent OS, you can just click this on and off, right? And then the great thing about that is like it's not always listening to you, but when you do want it to listen to you, it's ready to go and it's super easy and simple to set up. So that's basically it. Now, some people say, doesn't like a voice activated agent use a lot of tokens? So we actually have inside our agent OS, we have systems built in to reduce the amount of tokens like RTK. You can use stuff like Caveman. We've even got, for example, free AI models like OmniRoot that you can use with Hermes. So if you prefer not to use a lot of tokens, you can do it for free. There are systems for that we can train you on. So some people say, well, this is always listening. No, thank you. But actually, you can switch it on and off. It depends what you want. Other people say, well, and also bear in mind, like it only watches for the phrase. Other people say, well, voice assistants are just for like the timers and weather and stuff like that. But this one actually allows you to speak to your AI agent with all the capabilities it have. So if you already use Hermes Agent a lot, you know how powerful it is. And so the great thing about that is that you get the full power of Hermes Agent on the wake word that you give it. And then also some people say, well, this will take like a whole afternoon to set up. But literally you just use a / command wake on, or you can tap it in the agent OS and it's ready to go. So that's basically it. Now, if you want to get our agent operating system with Hermes Apollo as well, which again I think is like a much more powerful voice agent that you can use with Hermes. You can get it inside the AI Profit Boardroom. Link in the comments description, or go to the AIProfitBoardroom.com. We've got tons of tutorials inside the AI Profit Boardroom too on Hermes agent. And then, for example, you've got the chat section here with the command for the wake word. If you click this button on and off, so you can toggle it on and off. We have the voice agent that can build stuff, and then you can see that we can create some amazing stuff with this here. This also has access to browser control, and it can control your computer as well, which is pretty nice. So you can see it's replying here. It's actually got a voice on it as well, but I'm just not going to have the voice on it right now because I don't think it'll sound good on the recording back. And then we have Hermes Oracle that can pull in the latest news, find trending stuff, and then we can draft social media content or publish content directly to our WordPress based on the new trending news, right? Which means that you can create trending content, super easy to automate, and you can use the system right here. We also have Hermes Astros that looks at our competitors, then gives us title ideas and content ideas based on our competitors, but unique to us, along with the angles, and we can plug that into our video agent, our Notebook LM, or our SEO content systems inside the Agent OS. We have the studio here where you can generate all sorts of cool stuff, our sessions. We even have an email outreach agent with Hermes Agent, and that's plugged into our system with our memory and everything else. So you can get that inside the AI Profit Boardroom. This is my AI automation community for helping you save time and grow with AI automation. Inside the community, you can post questions, get help and support in real time. Inside the classroom, you can get access to all of our best trainings on this sort of stuff. So, for example, if you want the Agent OS, it is inside this section. And then we add new trainings, as you can see, based on what's actually useful working, and even how to run the Agent OS for free as well. Inside the calendar, you can jump a weekly coach call, share your screen, ask questions. And then inside the map, you can meet people using Hermes Agent and the Agent OS in your local area. And that's all available inside the AI Profit Boardroom. Link in the comments description, or go to the AIProfitBoardroom.com. Thanks for watching. Do you talk about setting up agents for? Yes, we do. So if you go to the classroom here, then you're going to go to the playbook and you can find our full section on AI avatar videos over here. So if you want to learn about that stuff, it's all inside here. Today, I'm going to show you how to use Claude for free forever with something called OmniRoot. Now, OmniRoot is a powerful system that you can plug into Claude Code. And this means that you can use the power of an agent harness like free Claude Code, but you're plugging in a system like OmniRoot that gives you over 90 free API providers so that you can code for free. Not only that, but we can also switch between OmniRoot and Nine Router. So if you get rate limited or if you can't use one of these different APIs, you can switch to the next one. And additionally, we also have a workspace in there. So the great thing about this is that anything that we create with this system, we can actually preview inside our Agent OS workspace, and we've got all this cool stuff that we built. So these are actually built with free Claude Code, which is basically like Claude Code CLI plugged into OmniRoot. So you can see some examples of what we built here. And yeah, you can actually build stuff for free using these free API models. Now, if you're wondering, okay, what is OmniRoot? OmniRoot is a free AI gateway for coding, which means you get access to loads of free AI coding agents, and then you can plug those into AI agent harnesses, like, for example, Claude Code or, for example, Codex. And the benefit of this is that it has loads of fallbacks. So if you're using a free API normally, the problem with that is that sometimes it will get rate limited or you run out of tokens. Whereas with this system, you can switch back and automatically fall back to a different model without having to do anything manually. All right. So if you look at the old way versus the new way, for example, you don't get rate limited like you would before. You can actually save tokens with RTK and Caveman compression inside there. And also it's a lot more um, time efficient, and it saves you time because it's all ready to go. It's all ready and set up inside one place. And also you don't have to use the terminal to manage it. You've got like a beautiful UI that's easy to use and super simple. So for example, here we can switch over and we can say, okay, build out a beautiful website for an SEO agency. Just as a random example, we plug that in and we can start using free Claude Code. Now, if you're wondering as well, what is free Claude Code? And you can see here it's beginning to reply. So free Claude Code is a open source project like you can see right here. And this basically uses is exactly the same agent harness. It just gives Claude Code a separate brain, a new brain. So for example, we can use the models like OmniRoot or NineRoot into free Claude Code, and then this switches Claude from like a what would you'd normally have to pay a subscription to use Claude. You can switch the brain over to OmniRoot or Nine Router, and then you've got different models that you can use as the free brain inside Claude. Right. So if you're worried about tokens or you're worried about costs and that sort of thing, this is a great way to use it. Also, you might say, well, I just prefer to use Claude. No problem, but there's going to be some stuff where you're like, do you know what? I don't need to use Opus 5, or I don't need to use Fable 5, or I want to use something else whilst I'm using Claude. And so you can switch over and use all these systems together in parallel as well, which is cool. So you can max out the tokens you're using across all your different favorite AI agents. And so particularly when you're testing stuff, free gateways like this are pretty good. And if, for example, like OmniRoot fails, you can switch over to Nine Router. If Nine Router fails, you can use OmniRoot. Either way, the CLI picks up whichever one you want because it's got it ready to go inside a drop down here. All right, so we can switch between the models that we want. Also, you can see here that it's actually built out the project, so it's pretty simple and easy to see whenever you want to. And we can add new projects as well, right? So all this stuff we can build with free Claude Code. Here's an example of the SEO agency website we just built, and it looks pretty good, right? If we click on new tab here, that's the agency website we just built, and it looks beautiful, right? It looks super nice. And so you can use this agent harness with free Claude Code, and it's ready to go. The other thing that I would say here is like people fall into a bit of a trap because Claude Code is the best coding agent harness out there. But the problem is that every message can get expensive, right? And so you stop using it for stuff you want to test and you save it for real work. But then the problem is like your experiments or your throwaway prototypes or your what if ideas, they don't happen because you don't want to use up your Claude subscription, right? Whereas, for example, if you plug in the free AI coding agent like OmniRoot or NineRoot into free Claude Code, you can still experiment. You can still try fun stuff. You can still test it and see what you think and what you get out of it, right? Which is way more fun. And so this just fixes all of it. And you've got two different free models that you can plug in. You could even, for example, use a free API. Like, for example, there's Ling 3.0 Flash, and you could plug that into free Claude Code. And then you've got multiple different options, so you can switch between them whenever you're ready as well. Other people say, well, free models, they're not that good. They're not frontier level, but at the same time, do you need frontier level every time you build something? Absolutely not, right? Plenty of amazing things have been built with older versions of ChatGPT, older versions of Claude. So you don't need like the best model out right now to build awesome stuff, right? You can still get the most out of this, and you can see this is pretty nice that we built out. So you've got the same CLI, just a different door, right? And free Claude Code isn't like anything different. It's the same Claude CLI. It's just a different gateway pointing at Claude Code. Also, both OmniRoot and NineRooter have different models, and they have different they also have like token minimization playbooks built into them, and also you can switch between them. That's the difference. Is like if you use this directly, you can't switch between NineRooter and OmniRoot. You have to pick one. Whereas with this system, you can switch between them however you want, whenever you want, inside the chat and workspace here, and you can choose and select which model you prefer to use. So we can clear this, and then we can switch between OmniRoot and NineRooter whenever we want, which is pretty cool. Also, what I like is like all of our agents and our memory system is plugged into this ready to go as well. So we've got this memory system that stores all the information about me, my brand, my voice, my projects, and that's all plugged into free Claude Code. So it's ready to go whenever we need it. And that way you can click whatever you want, you get the agent OS, and then you can start using it and you can build through it. These are some of the projects we built with it. And if you look at the old way versus the new way, you know, the old way was like every experiment would cost Claude tokens. You kind of ration the best tools in the frontier models. You have to set up everything manually, which takes time with free providers, and then you just don't use one. And then sometimes, like a free provider would hit a limit. You get rate limited with a free model, and then your build stalls and you have to wait, which costs you time, right? Whereas, for example, the system that we've set up, you can run experiments for free. You get to use Claude Code CLI. You've got two different free coding routers plugged in there. And you've also got token minimization playbooks plugged in as well. All right, so you got the free core, which is Claude CLI. You got rail number 1, which is OmniRoot. Rail number 2, which is NineRooter. The switch, where you can click a button between them, which is this section here, so you can switch between them whenever we want. And then also, we've got all of our creations saved inside the workspace, so it's ready to go and we can preview it whenever we want, right? Which is pretty nice as well. Now, some people say, I don't want to use free Claude Code, I want to use Claude Code, but this is literally the same agent harness. Other people say, well, one good router is enough, a second isn't needed, but actually, you know, if one breaks or one goes down one day, it's always good to have a backup. And also, if, for example, one just stops working, you know, you're like, well, you're kind of stuck. But if you have two different options for the free model or even more, like I was talking about before with, for example, Ling 3.0 Flash, then you have plenty of options in case you get rate limited on one. And also other people say, well, there's no need to save tokens, just use Claude or something like that. But the problem is with that is like, it's super annoying when you run out of tokens on Claude, because then what happens is you either have to get more tokens or you have to upgrade, or it stops you in the middle of what you're doing. Whereas with this system, you save your Claude tokens for your big builds, and therefore you don't get stuck in between building the next time you use it. You also might think, oh, isn't like using an agent OS pretty difficult or like technical and that sort of thing? So you can get my full zip file for installing this from the AI Profit Boardroom. Link in the comments description, or go to the AIProfitBoardroom.com. And inside the community, like, you can get our full setup. It's ready to go. You can get the zip file. We update it all the time. You get all the new systems inside there, and you get all our best trainings on it. Plus, you get an amazing community on how to use it. So you don't need to be technical. I'm not technical. You don't need to be technical to use it. So if you want to get the full system built for you, I mean, you could wire it yourself, but that might take several hours. If you want to get my full system with everything else built in, plus token minimization playbooks, coaching calls, a room with 3,800 founders using this sort of stuff, lots of cool tutorials on the latest updates. You can get that inside the AI Profit Boardroom. So if you go to the classroom, then go to new daily updates, you can grab the Agent OS system here. You get a zip file to install it, video tutorial, and all these cool new systems, as you can see. Inside the community, you can ask questions, get help and support in real time, share your questions, etc. And then inside the calendar, you can jump on weekly coaching calls, share your screen, ask questions, meet other members, meet other cool people doing the same stuff. And then inside the map, you can actually meet people in your local area from the AI Profit Boardroom. So feel free to get that link in the comments description, or just go to the AIProfitBoardroom.com. Thanks for watching. If you got any questions before I go soon, feel free to ask. Otherwise, I will head off in a minute. Need to work, Azra. I'll be free in 9 minutes, mate. I'm not even gonna read that out. My goodness. Trying to join the community. What happened? Feel free to direct message me, and I'll try and help you on school. Thank you so much for trying to join, and we'll try and get it sorted out for you. Appreciate that. Whoop. Thanks so much for joining. I appreciate that. And really looking forward to connecting with you inside the aircraft boarding. Thank you so much. AI brand building with Carlos. You legend. Thank you very much. No questions. Just want to let you know how impressed and inspired I am to see your consistency. You give me so many great ideas. I appreciate that. Thank you so much, Carlos. You, my friend, are an absolute legend. Hey, it's always good to see you on these videos. So I appreciate it. Nate says, "Hey Julian, just wanted to tell you that I admire you a lot, and that when I grow up, I would like to be as smart and strategic as you." Oh, thank you so much. What? Everyone is so nice today. What's going on? I appreciate it though. But no, shout out to you, Nate. Thank you so much for being super kind like that. Tell you what, I feel motivated. All right, peeps, I gotta go. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining today. Shout out to you all, Carlos, Nate, you legends. Appreciate you all. I will see you on the next one. Thanks, everyone. Bye bye.